Alright guys, welcome back to this St Pölten series. Where I'd left off, we managed to secure revenge against Kapfenberger, putting them in their place and winning 2-1. However, since then, we've entered the stickiest of all sticky patches, losing the 5 games that we've played between then and today, when we will be live comming our game against SV Ried. Let's just show you the extent of the damage in the Bundesliga table. We are 6 points ahead of 8th place Kapfenberger, 5 points behind Wolfsberger in 6th. So it's a very lonely 7th place at the moment, but with only just half the season gone, there's still quite a bit of time to catch up to the midfield pack again and see what we can do to try and at least get maybe a top half finish, which I've said is probably going to be my aim for this season. Red Bull Salzburg, again, have a ridiculous margin at the top, a game in hand and 12 points clear. They're already marching their merry little plastic ways to a 3rd consecutive Bundesliga title and what would be a 4th in 5 years. Ridiculously OP. On the flip side, Kapfenberger, SV Ried and SV Grodig look to be battling out to avoid relegation to the First Division. In terms of the First Division, exactly half the season gone, and it looks like Mattersburg, Wiener Neustadt, Altach and a few other teams who could still be in the mix, even all the way down to 7th, are in the race for promotion. So that is still pretty much anyone's apart from the bottom 3. It's always so tight down there, which makes me very glad that we secured promotion first season, let me tell you that. In terms of the fixtures then, it's not going to be pretty viewing. The first game that we had was a 3-0 home defeat to Wolfsberger, who I consider a similar team in terms of statistics. In an even game, they took their chances so much better, performed so much better on the day, and thoroughly deserved an emphatic win against us. I was very disappointed with our performance. Bergman goal on 26 minutes, a penalty on 40 minutes, and a Kienast goal a few minutes after the break secured a comfortable win for Wolfsberger there. We then followed up by hosting in-form Austria Vienna and losing 3-1. Cleo and Alexander Gorgon making sure Austria Vienna had a comfortable 2-0 lead at the break. Ernst Nickel getting a goal not long after the break, but Thomas Merg making it 3-1 after 66 minutes killed the game and secured a victory for Austria Vienna. Then, in the final game before the winter break, this happened. A 5-1 spanking against Sturm Graz, who, in the reverse fixture, we'd managed to beat 5-1. A totally baffling performance in terms of how poor we were. In the match ratings there, only half the team really getting above a 6.5, in fact barely anybody. So that just shows you how bad the match report was. Hofbauer actually took the lead for us, and we held that lead until just before half-time as a Petricevic penalty. Got Sturm Graz back into the game, and then after the break, we just collapsed. I'm still sort of trying to get my head around how it happened, but I guess it's just one of those results on Football Manager, as we've all had many of, that just cannot be explained. We had the most difficult game possible coming back from the break. We had an away trip to Red Bull Salzburg, and again, it was very comfortable for them. They had 18 shots at goal, scored with 2 of them, Junior on 6 minutes and Alberto Batalla on 36, and we didn't have a response to that. Then just 3 days later, an improved performance, encouraging one might say, against Rapid Vienna wasn't enough, as they sunk us with a Denny Alar goal on 49 minutes. This performance though does give us hope for the game against SV Ried, who obviously are more beatable opposition. I've given them a team meeting just to boost the morale even more. That had a major effect on morale, so we shall see what we can do here. I'm not expecting us to pull up trees with the horrible form we've been in, but nevertheless, I think we can do alright and start to get back on the horse after those horrible 5 consecutive games. As you can probably understand, the standout performers section of this video is going to be very brief. Eric Lang has continued to impress now that he's playing more in the central attacking mid-role, but to be honest, it's pretty much as you were in terms of the best performers. They've just been a bit sort of below their best recently for obvious reasons. I've been disappointed with Pogashan, the striker, who's now out for about 2 months. Ernst Nickel, unfortunately, who's been a revelation on the right wing. is also injured for a similar amount of time. That is devastating news for our performances, and has probably had some bearing on how poor we've been of late. I'm not going to dwell too much then on the individual players for this episode. I'm just going to go straight into the game now. We are an early kickoff, which constitutes a 4:30 kickoff in Austria. No 3 o'clock kickoffs here, not adhering to British tradition. Nevertheless, we're going to have to change around our team considerably. As you can see here, the match condition of pretty much everyone is quite poor. I'm going to bring on Kasali for Lukic. It's kind of difficult to pick the team when everyone's flat out tired. Makaidi has to come on for Hofbauer, who, if you're starting on 84%, you're pretty much guaranteed to be a bit dead by the end. On the right hand side, I'm going to slot in Kobe Arthur and put Bastian Thorell up front and bring Arik Lang onto the bench. That is going to be the team, I think. So let's get on with the game. So their morale is quite poor, as you would expect. They are languishing near the bottom, but we've got a bad run to break out of. So I'm going to be giving the boys lots of love, lots of passion in the team talk, and hopefully that doesn't scar them for life as we kick off here at the Niederösterreich Arena, and it's SV Reed to kick us off as we wait patiently for the first highlight of the game. Fuch already gets a yellow card, getting a bit overexcited, but now Stankovic finds Kasali. It's Arthur on the right wing. What can he do here? Can he whip in a ball? He finds Stankovic, but he's tackled by Dilliver. But Zidic intercepts the clearance. And Stankovic, in the number 10 role, switches it to Makaidi. He doesn't find Pinesip, who's got a lot of space out on the left. But Arthur, making some progress, finds Thorell. It's 1-0 to St Pölten. After just under 15 minutes, Bastian Thorell, the guy who I signed earlier in the season on a free, gets the goal here. Cisse to Stankovic, Kasali, Arthur having the presence of mind to find Bastian Thorell, who slots home the first goal of the game, and it's gone to St Pölten. Great start. Can we build on this now? As Pinesip will take a throw, finds Stankovic in a wide position, but it's intercepted. Zidic again with a towering header. He's developed into one fine defender. Makaidi now has it on the left. He finds Thorell. He fucking buries it to make it 2-0. That was the most emphatic finish I think I've seen in a long time on this game. Good for him. He's desperate to get some goals in this league and prove his worth. As we see the replay, keeper stood no chance with that absolute thunderbolt. And now we have Cisse pretty much in the middle of the park. Crossfield ball to Makaidi. Now finds Pinesip on the overlap. And he'll play to Kasali, who's impressed in a midfield role this season. But the play breaks down and SV Reed now have the ball. They've done pretty much nothing to trouble us so far. But what can they do here? The answer is still nothing, as Thorell nods the ball on. But they've got another chance to set up another wave of attacks here, and that's better play. Now the winger is now not going to attempt to pronounce, gets an assist. It's 2-1 now. PA with the goal for SV Reed. Edem Wonyi, that's actually not too hard to pronounce, but far too many players going with him. It's like you're trying to coach a bunch of 5-year-old kids who just want the ball all the time. That's not great defending, but in terms of the attacking aspect, we've played quite well, so I'm not going to dwell on that too much, but I'm going to say there's room for improvement as we start the second half, and hopefully we can establish a foothold again in this game, get that 2-0 cushion, 2-goal cushion back, and we'll see what we can do from there. I don't want to throw a 2-goal lead away. That would be demoralising. Cisse dangerously letting the ball run to Pinesip there. He was under quite a lot of pressure as Makaidi loses it, and now SV Reed can come at us again. Their manager clearly trying to rile the players up at half-time after getting some momentum with that goal just before the break. But now Stankovic threading through Thorell, who's on a hat-trick. What can he do here? Well, he was under a lot of pressure, and the keeper collects the ball easily. And now SV Reed are coming back at us with Edem Wonyi. and the highlight is over. I think we really need this 2-goal cushion back to feel comfortable and control in this game, because SV Ried are starting to come back at us. Stankovic with a decent effort. Great play until the finish, but I'm not going to dwell on that too much because that was very good play and he was under a lot of pressure. As we look to make some tactical switches on 60 minutes, see if we can't inject some pace into the side. I'm going to have to change the legs in midfield as pretty much all my midfield three are dead. Hebiao will come on and I'm going to give Eric Lang a game. I also want to bring Hofbauer on in central midfield. That's a bit of a risk, changing all 3 midfielders, especially if there turns out to be an injury. But I do want an experienced head in midfield. I find I always concede goals if I don't, as Fuchs picks up a knock. If he gets injured from that, then that triple substitution could prove to be a massive own goal. Speaking of own goals, I think we have just benefited from one, which is very spooky indeed. Madl, the defender, what has happened here? Lang's whipped in the ball and he's just fell over. And he's given us our 2-goal cushion back. And we look to be coasting to victory now in a game that was very important. It's important that we get the win. As now, Hebiao just passes it back to Riegler. No need to rush anything anymore. It's all up to SV Ried to try and get a famous comeback. But now Lang is being played through. Our talented 17-year-old tries a shot from an angle. It just hits the side netting, but that's unlucky. It's encouraging that we've had a lot of shots on goal this game. And we've really taken the game to SV Ried. As now Thural finds himself on the wing. Can't get his hat-trick from here, but he'll play in Kobe Arthur. And now Dovedan collects the ball and could set up a break for SV Ried. As Baumgartner finds PA. Edon Wanyi has a lot of space out there on the wing. Pinesip not really picking him up. Reiter now will spray it to Holzman. But Dovedan now is on the wing. He's whipping in a ball for PA. And he had the space there to take it round the defenders and make it a very, very nervous finish. Our players are tiring now. The fullbacks clearly not having the energy to keep up with the wingers anymore. And this could be a very nervous finish. Zidic finding Lang. And now Thural needs to just hold it up here. He's driving at the defensive line. And can he? No, he's tackled. And now can SV Ried break yet again? Fuchs with the interception. To Hebiao, to Hofbauer. Lang in plenty of space. SV Ried caught committing too many men. And Lang could have and really should have made them pay there and delivered the final killer blow. This is not what we want. With 4 minutes of added time, this result could... No, it's not going to go haywire now. Zidic gets in the header from the corner. Surely now that is signed, sealed and delivered for SKN St Pölten. If they come back from this game now, I will eat my hat. Zidic towering above all the SV Ried defenders to nod in a simple finish as Thural is injured, but it doesn't really matter that we're down to 10 men at this point. 2-0 up with 2 minutes of added time to go. A bit of a concern as we've got a bit of a striker crisis now. Not going to be able to play Kobe Arthur on the wing as he's the only fit striker. Nevertheless, we've secured a valuable win here to give us some of that momentum back after that horrible run. Arthur, no, the whistle's gone. And SKN St Pölten come out on top against SV Ried, and I'm going to praise the shit out of them. Give them that confidence, and let's see what we can do now. We've managed to spark some momentum. It's up to us now to do something with that momentum and try and get back in this race for the top half. If Thural doesn't seem to have a physio report yet, so he could not be injured. Let's see how that SV Ried result has affected our position in the table. And as you can see, we're only 2 points behind 5th place now, which pretty much reaffirms the belief that I had that we can still challenge for the top half. Sturm Graz seem to have bolted now, and it looks like the traditional Austrian top 4 will finish in the respective positions. It's a fight between Innsbruck, Wolfsberger and us for a top half finish. No prizes for 5th place in terms of European football, but it's good to finish as high up as you possibly can in terms of prize money and encouragement for the future. In terms of the next livecom, I'm going to go with the Sturm Graz game, and then I think I will, depending on circumstances, do an end of season livecom. If there's nothing to play for, I'll just livecom the last game and do an end of season review. So there'll be 2 more episodes of this season left. It's sort of petered out into a mid-table fight when it could have been a lot more, but I'm happy with the progress we've made. Anyway, the retrospective shit is for another day. I'll be back for the Sturm Graz game, and I'll see you all later.